Tonight, on Our World, we go into a very isolated and extremely remote gorge in mid-western Queensland, where we take a very unfortunate spill, nearly kill both of us. Son of a bitch. Now, this is a python, carpet python. I've just taken a bite. Now, pythons, of course, can be aggressive. It's their only method of making sure that they don't get eaten by other predators. A bite's one thing, but they've got no fangs and they've got no venom, so I'm in no danger whatsoever. Working with animals has its moments, but luckily pythons are not poisonous, so I was in no danger. Some people think you'd have to be crazy, rescuing crocodiles and catching snakes, but the conservation of these animals is really important to me. Unfortunately though, the job puts me in constant danger, but even the most dangerous times have their lighter moments, and tonight we're going to take you into our archives and probably shock and amaze you with some of our wildest home videos.
In the early days of rescuing and relocating crocodiles in the wild, Steve used to record all of his single-handed exploits with his home video camera stuck in a tree.
Luckily I did, because it captured one of my more painful mistakes.
Steve has been living like Tarzan long before I met him. Here he's showing his unique style of catching fish.
With his tail bitten off.
And he certainly has improved his methods of catching taipan since he got this on video. I don't think the wheel of a truck is actually part of their usual territory.
My dog Suey helped me catch this feisty croc, aptly named Joan Collins. Out of the hundreds of crocodiles I've had to capture on my own, this is the first time that I've made such a painful mistake. Without securing the croc's jaws first, I'm climbing into a transport box to pass a rope through. The big mistake is that the crocodile's open mouth is right next to my legs under that pile of net. With no help and no way to tell where the crocodile is, it occurs to me that I might be stuck up in this box for a week. Crikey, I wish I had nailed the other end of the box shut. Luckily, as the croc finally moves away, I feel the rope slide from under me and I take the chance to back out. Thank goodness she was satisfied to even the score with just that one little bite. If she kept going, she would have made it back to the river and my job would have started all over again.
Thanks a lot.
Got a few holes.
This bite put Steve out of action for a couple months.
Look at that crocodile did to me, Suey.
Hey, did you get that on video or what?
I wouldn't blame folk for thinking that worrying about how to get Steve's clothes clean is my biggest challenge. But I can assure you it's the furthermost thing from my mind when Steve's in the mud wrestling with crocodiles. Our next home video shows how challenging a crocodile can be when she's made quite a comfortable home for herself in a cave of mud.
Steve has found himself a very defiant crocodile. Her name is Connie, and she has managed to secure the perfect place to hide. With his dad on the camera and young Wes to lend a hand, you'd think they get it right.
On open ground, lassoing a croc is pretty hazardous. Trying to rope this liberated female in her muddy hidey hole takes a lot more patience and skill. There's no way she'll come quietly. It's all a matter of coordinating her snapping at me and getting the rope on her top jaw at the same time. With her back to the wall, there's only one way out, and that's past me. Once the top jaw rope is on, I carefully coax her out, but the slippery mud makes it dangerous and gives her the advantage of lightning speed should she decide to lunge. She's still a very angry young lady. This blindfold will calm her down and make it easier for Wes and I to jump on and restrain her.
Steve's best friend Wes spent 10 years in the wilds of northern Australia as his perfect backup. This hands-on experience with Steve has positioned Wes today as our manager and curator of reptiles at our zoo at Beerwah.
Now all we have to do is get her out of the mud and into the boat. With 3 thrashing individuals, it's not that easy. We only have to lift her a couple of feet, yet it seems like a mountain.
Stay on the head, mate, whatever happens, ride it out.
Great family home video, but certainly not one of Steve's most glamorous captures.
Yep, it's definitely a girl.
Dodging crocodile attacks is all in a day's work for me at the park. After the break, we've put together some of the close calls that our cameras have been there to record.
And also the close calls that actually drew blood.
Dealing with potentially dangerous animals like crocodiles and snakes requires tremendous concentration. You've got to be totally on the ball. Now, when a camera crew comes into the equation, you've got to worry about them as well. And that's when my concentration can be broken, even for a split second. Bang! Your history. Just like this next clip where I was caught totally off guard. And you can see coloration of this guy. Come on, mate. Oh, you're not hungry.
This is an actual crocodile here.
This is an actual crocodile. And when I look at the animation that you've got there.
Although I never missed a beat, when I saw this replay, I realised just how close Monty had come.
Steve has spent all of his life here at Australia Zoo on Queensland's Sunshine Coast, dodging crocodile lunges, strikes, and attacks.
It's all second nature to me, with daily feeding of over 150 saltwater and freshwater crocodiles, as well as alligators. Keeping them active is all part of my routine, because in their natural environment, they must hunt for their food. So whilst educating visitors to our park and animal behaviour, the crocs get to hunt me for their tucker. Here's the notorious aggro. He doesn't care whether it's me or a chicken when it comes to a feed. Every tooth is loaded.
Today's menu was chicken.
Monty gets so close here, he bites the camera. Monty never misses an opportunity to assert dominance. And here's Murray, the fastest bullet in our park. And Mary, she's a doting mum.
Weekend mowing in our backyard takes on a totally different meaning when it comes to trimming the edges. It keeps the Crocs fit and Steve on his toes. Or is that the Crocs on his toes and Steve on the run?
I'm out of here.
You're a good girl, man. You're not going to attack me now, are you? Yep. As you can see, she's absolutely intent on defending that nest. This is her job. She does a great job at it. That's right. Yes, you. Come on then, come on, back up there, back up.
Don't worry, Steve, I'm long gone. Nesting season is our most dangerous time. The females command total respect.
With Steve and I spending so much time so close to wild animals, it's inevitable that there are always going to be close shaves, and sometimes those shaves connect. This next collection is certainly not for the faint-hearted.
Well, we're going to have to get it out of here, otherwise it's going to die. Yeah, we'll hold it out from your face. Oh, God! Well, that's it.
Sweetheart, you got to take it.
All
I
right,
don't want
all
to take any more hits.
Okay, back off. I got it.
Don't let her get my face.
We're going to have to get it out of here somehow.
Steve, if you want to show... Oops, you got me again.
These pythons have no poison, just sharp teeth.
Very large venom glands. When you look at his head...
Unlike this king brown, which is highly venomous. And he means business. Goannas are harmless if left alone, but their jaws can lock on and their teeth are like tiger sharks.
No, you can't. If you touch it, you just tear a great chunk out of it. Let her go. I've let her go. Ah! Ooh. This is a freshwater snake, or a keelback, and he was just in our camp. They're completely harmless, they've got no venom, they're frog eaters. And in actual fact, this is the only species of snake in Australia that well, maybe they do bite. The only species of snake in Australia that can tolerate cane toad. Oh no, it's a taipan!
Yeah, the little fang marks on his lip. You'll notice that the rest of his head is pretty badly hurt as well.
Now here's one from the archives that gives us a laugh every time. The Brolga actually loves Steve, and that's the trouble. She's preening him like another bird. We were filming the start of a bird documentary, and let me tell you, it took a long time.
Now next week, we're going to take an epic journey.
That's perfect. I love it. That is the best thing I've ever done in my life.
This is a Brolga. This is a Brolga. Where we get a good close look at albatross.
When you have to round up 10 energetic young male crocodiles, catch them, sex them, and crate them to send to another zoo, and you have to do it all in the fastest possible time, there are bound to be a few human limbs that get in the way. We call this next archival treasure the Mother's Day Crocodile Roundup.
That was close. It's Mother's Day, a perfect occasion for a home movie and for some mums to visit our Australia Zoo and watch us round up these crocodiles.
These guys are going to another wildlife park. They've reached sexual maturity, and at this age, they start to want their own territory. And we need to separate them to prevent fighting.
It's unnatural and dangerous to keep maturing crocodiles together in a restricted space, like in crocodile farms. Aggressive behaviour over territory is inevitable, and we've got to go in and sort that out because we love our crocodiles.
The crocs won't hurt themselves in the boxes. They feel comforted by the closeness and the darkness.
Really rope here.
They're not really trying to bite me, they're only defending themselves. They think we're going to hurt them. When we're dealing with crocodiles, we can always rely on the expertise of my dad, Bob.
That's it. No, move it, keep it going, kid. When you're ready,
We have to be really careful. They're fast and powerful, and there's a lot of snapping jaws in here.
We class these guys as teenagers in the croc world. Not too big, but as you can see, big enough to be really dangerous. One of the best hits I've ever taken, it wasn't from a giant crocodile, but a tiny little lizard that not only showed a lot of guts, but had an aim that was right on the nose.
They don't get quite as big as the ones on the coast. Bearded dragon, you can see why they're called a bearded dragon. They've got this little beard here, and when he gets all cantankerous, all cranky, or you've got a big mouth too. He opens up his mouth and shows this beard, and that's a sign of toughness. I'm so tough, stay away from me or I'm going to bite you. You bit me on the nose, you little brat.
Here at Australia Zoo, we're constantly expanding and always endeavouring to house our animals in environments that are exactly like their natural habitat. So it was inevitable that one day the park legend Monty, our 12-foot hero crocodile, who's been in our family for over a decade, finally had to be moved into a bigger home with a gorgeous girl named Goldie. The key to success when moving large reptiles is speed, but Monty's move was marred by one unfortunate accident. Yeah, those rocks are going to be a little problem. And he's got a beautiful young female where he's going. Her name's Sharon.
This is an opportunity for everyone on the staff to get in the picture. Monty's so big and strong that we'll need as much help as we can get just to hold him down after Steve gets him tied up.
Ooh, there's that accident I mentioned. Monty's bashed his jaw against the rock before I'm able to pull him away from the danger. We'll have to take a close look after to check out his injury.
One rope won't be enough for Monty. While the rest of us wait for our part in the capture, Steve has to go in close again and get a second rope over that massive jaw.
This rope, over there, this way. You ready, Brino? He's going into a death roll. Let him go. Let him go for a death roll. Righto, Brian, go!
This is the safest way to move a croc, certainly for the crocodile, but not necessarily for us. We don't believe in using drugs. That's far too dangerous for their health. Believe it or not, these tough-as-nails reptiles can suffer severe life-threatening stress, and tranquilizers are very easy to misjudge.
So it's everyone piled onto the croc's back with a good firm grip to give us enough weight to keep him still and to suppress all that power.
Now that he's restrained, I can get a good look at Monty's injuries. It's a bit hard to see through these top jaw ropes, but he certainly has done some damage. I don't think it's all that bad.
Okay, so when you can rock him, I'll jump out.
You communicate, Brian.
Here's another reason we need all those people. Monty is heavy. We can't carry him all the way. The park is 15 acres, and we use a truck to get the move over and done with quickly, so Monty can get back to normal as fast as possible.
See when he started thrashing around, broke one of his teeth on that rock. Poor bugger. Nothing a good, beautiful, sexy Sheila won't fix.
The best news is that a lost tooth will grow back within 6 months. Teeth get lost in the wild in fights and attacking their prey. And as well as that, teeth just falling out is a natural process. On average, a crocodile tooth will last 2 years before a new one replaces it.
The crocodile is a hard-hitting predator, and their head is their killing device, so nature has armed them with the ability to replace teeth quickly. But just the same, it upsets me when any of our animals get hurt through no fault of their own.
Wait. Swinging the wrong way. Swing that way.
Here's one of the most dangerous parts of the move, the release of Monty into his new home with a female that we hope will be a mate for life. There's a lot of people in strike range, and when Steve releases the jaws, we have to get out fast and make sure we don't trip over each other.
I'm with the cameraman.
Back off, everyone out. Go on, boys. Go get him, mate. Go get her. Go get those girls, Monty.
This is a very rare moment, and we're lucky enough to have a video camera right with us. It's the mating ritual of crocodiles. The female signals to the male by making irresistible gurgling sounds and by emitting a beautiful perfume from the scent glands under her throat.
Mating sequences can last several minutes, and she continues to blow bubbles to keep stimulating the male. Mating behavior like this can last for days, weeks, or even months.
It seems to be more than just an instinctive ritual. They really do enjoy it. Crocodiles are very passionate and gentle lovers, and for such a huge aggressive animal, they are surprisingly delicate when it comes to mating.
To make some space for our visiting alligators from Taronga Zoo, we had to do a little reshuffling of our own. It was time for 3 freshwater crocodiles to move out and make room. It was also a great opportunity for me to try my hand at crocodile wrangling for the very first time on my own.
Terry's introduction to crocodile wrangling was the perfect opportunity for a home movie well worth keeping. She's pretty nervous as she moves in to grab the croc on her own for the very first time.
I'm starting with freshwater crocodiles. They're not dangerous like the salties we've just seen, but they're still a real handful. The body attached to this set of jaws is just about all I can carry, and occasionally I need a hand from Steve. But hey, I did it! I grabbed a croc all by myself and carried him to the truck.
Wait on, he's going to bite. Because he doesn't know what's on that side, he's blind that side.
So you look at me over here, mate. You look at me.
This is always a two-person job, but this time, Terry's got the main part.
I've got the tail, eh?
This one we call the blonde because she's kind of a yellow color. She comes from a sandier region in the river system, so she's adapted that kind of blondie color. And she's a bit more aggro, kind of a typical blonde.
That's it, you've got a real good.
This one's a bit lively. Even the two of us can't hold her still, and those super sharp teeth can be very dangerous. So we've decided to blindfold her.
Blindfold on, Fred. Right up, that's the other way. Fred, just in case, just sit back a bit. We'll see how it goes.
My third croc is just too big to be picked up and carried in our arms, so we're wrapping him in a tarp to make his move more manageable. This is one of my favorite home movies. It was a real milestone for me, the first time I took on the lead role in moving crocodiles to new homes in the park. It really gave me a great sense of achievement.
This crocodile's not going anywhere, I gotta tell you.
Freshwater crocs don't go out of their way to attack humans. We're too big, and we're not seen as a food source, not like the big saltwater crocs who see humans as a potential feed. Of course, if you muck with a freshie, they'll bite out of self-defense, so what we're doing can be a little dangerous.
It's a big boy. That's it.
What I need is a blindfold wrapped round. I need a blindfold wrapped round.
Apart from being good for the well-being of the animal, another advantage of restraining them by body weight and moving them by hand is that you can actually feel when a croc is building up to a burst of energy.
And this one thrashes us all over the paddock.
Inside the enclosure. Grab his jaws first, Duggar.
Like a vice, guys. Hang on to him.
Got him?
Got him.
Pretty heavy. Okay, let's go down over here. Lay down, Scope. You comfortable, Duggar? Okay, Tear, if you can get comfortable there too. Everyone else off. Stewie, Rick.
While other staff at the park restrain the big croc, Terry and I release another one at the water's edge.
When Steve takes the blindfold off the last of the smaller freshies, the croc's all tensed up. It's difficult to hold, and he catches Steve's arm with the side of his jaws. All the croc had to do was squeeze down, and one protruding tooth tore a neat little slice out of Steve's arm. As we said earlier, those freshwater crocs have exceptionally sharp teeth.
That's a good little nip.
Yeah. She just picked up a little bit of skin when I put her down. It's no big deal.
Do you think she'll get food poisoning?
Yeah.
Every home movie collection has a few tapes showing important family events, and this one's about an addition to a crocodile family here at Australia Zoo. One of our naughtiest crocodiles is called Agro, and we're capturing a beautiful female named Lucy to add to his family group.
At present, she's in her own pond and she's retreated to the back of the enclosure. Lucy's determined to stay out of reach, and the only way we can get her is with a lasso on a pole to catch her top jaw.
Tear, that's it, pull it up. Pull tight, go. Okay, pull it towards you, go. Keep going, keep going. Right, keep going.
Soon she'll be part of a family group like one she would join in the wild. As well as Agro the male, her new family has 2 other females.
Now feed that over.
By crikey, she's a feisty, tough little girl. She's going to be a perfect match for Agro. I guess you could say a crocodile family group in the wild is a bit like a harem. It's standard to have one male and a number of females in a single territorial range.
Yep. It's very important when you're catching crocodiles to move as quickly and precisely as possible, because what happens is they're a real flight or fright animal, and when they expel energy and adrenaline, they get a lactic acid build up in their own body. So it's important that we work really, really hard and really fast to get over and done with so as we can get her in a new pond.
Again, this is why we want to use the truck. It's a big park and it takes less time to move around.
Right? Okay.
The matriarch in the family group, Mary, watches warily as we move into the territorial range of the Agro family group.
We should be safe in adding Lucy to the group because it's a much larger environment than most.
Yep.
And her addition will make it more like a natural colony. We continually monitor these new relationships to make sure that they can cohabitate as a family group.
While Sydney's Taronga Zoo designs a new alligator enclosure, it posed a problem of what to do with their 3 long-term inhabitants while construction took place. And that's where Australia Zoo offered to help. We agreed to take 2 males and 1 female alligator and babysit them for a year while their new home was being built.
Taronga is Australia's largest and most respected zoo, and we're delighted that they're trusting us with 3 of their star reptiles. The American alligators are among 400 different species that Taronga show and educate the public about in a 75 acres park right on Sydney Harbour.
The alligators at Taronga Zoo live in near natural conditions, so we've called on the fire brigade to help pump the water out so as we can locate the alligators.
We were lucky that the first one we spotted and roped was the largest of 2 males in the pond. The other male and a single female are still concealed. We're making the capture in winter. Like all reptiles, alligators aren't as active in the cooler weather. Their reactions slow down, and it should be safer for all of us. Pumping out most of the water helped protect us from hidden alligators, but it also made things dangerous in another way. The thick, slimy mud leaves us vulnerable. If it's not slippery, it's sticky, and mud like this can slow you down when what you really want is speed and space to react.
We're down in the mud with Taronga Zoo's curator of reptiles, Trent Russell. He's overseeing the entire operation, and he's very focused on the handling of the animals. These animals haven't been handled or touched for over 30 years.
Now, we've got to be really careful of his bottom jaw. Actually, we'll go, give us the top jaw rope. No.
This big old gator lost one of his eyes in a fight many, many years ago, and it's very Australian to give animals a nickname, so we've called this big old bloke Igon. In the wild, this sort of injury could mean the difference between survival and death, but in captivity, old Igon can expect to live well over 70 years of age. The average life expectancy of crocodilians is the same as humans at 70 years of age, but as with humans, they could possibly live well over 100.
Keep going.
It's always a reward to have my dad right there with us at the helm.
On the front here, just keep your pressure on the back.
You can't move.
Yeah, just ease up.
Along with Steve's dad, Bob, there's a lot of other staff from Australia Zoo and Taronga. We wanted to make sure we were ready for anything with a group of giant reptiles who aren't used to human handling. Also, the weight of such big alligators means more people are needed, and working in mud and on steep slopes makes it difficult and tricky.
These alligators are full grown and probably as large as they'll get. By crikey, they're heavy. We've got to be very careful to tuck their feet in and be nice and gentle. Which isn't all that easy when you're up to your armpits in mud. Oh, and up to your armpits in alligators.
An alligator is different than a crocodile. A crocodile would have trouble surviving even one winter out in the open like this as far south as Sydney. But the American alligator has been known to survive in frozen lakes by shutting its body down to almost a comatose state.
Taronga has had these special crates custom built just for the trip up to our park in Queensland.
There was a lot of media at Taronga for the move, and it's something we really appreciate. Media attention for events like this helps zoos around the world by keeping animals front of mind, and it really enhances the cause of wildlife protection and preservation. It helps educate the public in the role of zoos, and publicity helps with funding by keeping conservation issues in front of the public and governments.
Without a sympathetic public, zoos would not exist, and if people don't feel for animals, there will be no push to protect them and save them. That's especially true with animals like crocodiles and alligators. They're not exactly soft and cuddly and lovable.
If kids don't see them and don't learn about them in parks or on films, they may consider them only as a threat and not worth saving.
Oh, that's comfortable.
It's a good thing that these alligators don't regard humans as a food source. To them, we don't even look like dinner. They go for much smaller prey. Even their mouths are made for something different. Compared with a crocodile, they have shorter, peg-like teeth and rounded snouts designed for catching and killing animals such as rodents, nutria and koipu. Now here's something interesting about alligators. They growl. Just like, well, I guess alligators are just like a frog with sharp teeth.
Okay, four people hold the...
We're all sopping wet and a little worn out by the effort, and it's worse because we're making this move in the middle of winter. The plan is for the alligators to spend about a year in Queensland until Taronga builds a brand new facility for them.
Hold the stretcher, the rest of this you can put the forward.
Boxing them without any restraints means less handling at the other end. We just have to open the lid and let them go. The boxes are designed to be big enough for movement, but not so big that they can get up enough power to bash their way out.
I might have another one just in case. Get a bit of weight on this rope, eh?
The third alligator is the hardest of all to get. She's well camouflaged in the mud, and she's so cute we've called her Ruby. Alligators are coloured jet black, and they have these frog-like eyes that lets them sit really low in the water.
This is the alligator's own territory, and until the jaws are tied firmly, it's a very hazardous spot to be slipping and sliding around.
At last we've got her out of the hidey hole in the sticky mud. It's best for the alligators that we keep up the pace. Less time means less stress. But for us, it's getting pretty well exhausting.
Another rope. We'll rest.
Have you ever seen a dirtier bunch of people? But at least the alligator's calm. They're usually considered a placid creature, and this one's decided to go back to its normal behavior. Like the crocodiles, a blindfold helps to keep them quiet.
She has the cutest little tummy.
She's hanging on.
Why is that tummy cute on her?
These alligators are enormously heavy, around 440 pounds, the weight of 3 average men. And that's hard work until we can bring in the stretcher.
She's on there.
Yep.
That's better.
That one out.
Alligators and crocodiles are some of the natural world's great survivors. They've been much the same sort of creature for around 200 million years. They evolved in the age of dinosaurs, and if we don't hunt them or destroy their habitat and food sources, there's no reason that they can't survive indefinitely.
Righto, everyone out. Go, go, go.
The whole operation's finished in less than an hour, and that's great for the alligators' stress levels.
Personally, I thought a warm shower would have been much nicer. By the way, apart from one of the gators, I was proud to be the only other female involved. Now the other end, unloading at Australia Zoo.
Easily the most dangerous part of this mission is me on this bucko.
Just pop him up, I'll have a look.
Time for one last checkup before releasing them.
So as you can see, this is the bigger one.
This method of transport is designed so we can just open the boxes and let them go. But these alligators are honored guests, and we want to make absolutely sure they're okay.
Come on, buddy. That's 2 feet. Keep going, keep going. That's great, eh? The beautiful thing with working with alligators is they're so placid. With the saltwater crocodile, the Australian salty, they're hard, they're fast, they're gnarly, aggressive, and when they bite down hard. Alligators more whoosh, you know, trying to bluff you out, uninclined to bite. This animal is extremely powerful and you wouldn't want to take a hit.
The 1,000-kilometer journey from Sydney is almost over, and most of the staff have to help because they're such heavy beasts.
Okay, everyone off. Go!
God!
Now, if that was a crocodile, he would have got a lot closer to making a hit. Finally, one last little push and the alligator's right at home in his temporary pond.
This is Aggro. His name is short for aggression. We're about to notch up another first for Terry, and we thought it was worthwhile getting out the video camera for what's to become another one of our favourite home movies. We're teaching Terry to feed Aggro, one of the most demanding jobs in the park.
Steady. Hold your ground, hold your ground. Woo! Happy days, all right. Rhino, can you get him back in the water? I got him.
Now that really tested my nerve, but I've proven to myself that I can handle it. Even though I've done it once, the second time is just as nerve-wracking, and I've never let my guard down feeding these big crocs. Making Aggro jump for his food is more than just educating visitors to the park about crocodiles. It's important for giving him exercise by duplicating some of the moves he would have to make to hunt food in the wild. Now here's something really interesting. When I fed Aggro, he took the food and went back to the water, but now he's spotted Steve. Maybe he sees Steve as a territorial threat. When we began making television documentaries, we not only had to look out for ourselves, but also the lives and equipment of our film crew, or crews.
You see how I have to work with, and you go in the shop, all right?
That's why he's on the big money.
Oh, jeez.
Standing by.
I get to work with some of the finest camera crews in the entire world, and the media's really been great for getting out the message about the importance of animals like crocodiles. there's not the same support for protecting them in the wild as there is for something cute and cuddly like a koala. Crocodiles are at the very top of the food chain, and we need to understand that we must protect our top predators to keep an ecological balance in the wild. Having crews in from all around the world means that we can get the message about protecting wildlife out to as many people as possible, even about the animals that many people see as unlovable and perhaps dangerous.
Wrestling crocodiles, jumping out of boats and four-wheel drives to catch snakes is all pretty macho stuff. I'd like to show you now just how in control Steve really is. You got her?
Yeah.
That's incredible.
Yeah!
On your snake.
Have I scared him away? Hopefully we'll continue to make more programs about our unique animals to show you just how special they really are and why they need our protection.
If our programs have made you take another look or perhaps even changed your opinion about conserving our more dangerous creatures, then we have done a small part towards their conservation.
Just as there are many more wildlife secrets and encounters in store for us, we're sure that there'll be an equal number of wildest home videos to catch us unaware. So see you next time.
Good night.